Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for allowing me to sit in on this meeting, and thank all of you for being here. This is a very important hearing. I can attest, I practiced pharmacy for over 30 years, and I've dispensed a lot of insulin over those years, and I've seen what has happened with the price of that, and it is concerning. But before I begin, just a couple of questions. Let me say that I'm proud to have Alex Azar as Secretary of Health and Human Services. I think he's done an excellent job. He is addressing a situation that the President has made one of his primary initiatives, that is prescription drug pricing, and specifically insulin drug pricing. Yes, Dr. Azar did serve as, our Secretary Azar served as CEO of Eli Lilly, and in many ways, I want someone, I want to know what's going on, and I want someone helping me who does know and has the inside track. So having said that, I'd like to start with Dr. Safula. I'm sorry, I hope I got that right. Safula? Cefalu, excuse me. Well, thank you for being here. I wanted to ask you, what about transparency? Do you believe that transparency could help in the price of insulin, or could play a role in the price of insulin? One thing that's always concerned me has been the very opaque drug supply chain. I've dealt with this for many years. In fact, before I became a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee, I served on the Oversight Committee, and we had a situation with Mylan Pharmaceuticals about the price of the EpiPens. And I had a chance to talk to ask questions of the CEO of Mylan at that time about when it left the manufacturer. That's the beginning. I'm the end. I'm the pharmacist. I'm dispensing it. When it left the manufacturer, it was $150. And that's what she told me, and I believe her, and that's what she told me, okay? But when I dispensed it, it's $600. Well, what happened in between? I'm just trying to figure out, can transparency help us in this situation?
Well, transparency in and of itself is not the answer. What transparency will do will help us understand the factors that go into understanding the flow of dollars. Some of the things that you mentioned is trying to understand what happens between each entity. And again, we have to address this as a systemic problem. Going after one entity in the supply chain is not going to be the answer. So understanding the negotiations between the manufacturer and the wholesaler, understanding the fees, the discounts, the rebates that occur between the manufacturer and the pharmacy benefit manager. The pharmacy benefit manager, how much rebate goes to the health plan, how much is...
But that is transparency. What you're describing is transparency. So what you're saying is, yes, we do need transparency to understand the drug supply chain.
Transparency is needed to understand the drug supply chain as to a long-term, coming up with a long-term viable solution.
Great. Are you familiar, Doctor, or any of you familiar with CMS's proposed rule changes as it goes to discounts being offered at the point of sale as opposed to the way they are now, where we don't even know where the discounts are going or who they're being applied to? Any of you familiar with that? I see you shaking your head. Any thoughts on that?
This aligns with some of the conclusions from our working group, again, to make sure the rebate makes it to the patient at the point of sale.
Right, and do you believe that's happening now?
I can't say that's happening now.
Neither can I, neither can anyone. I mean, if we don't have transparency, we don't know. Anyone else care to comment on that? Doctor, I'm sorry.
Yes, GDRF is supportive of this. It's one mechanism to remove rebates from the system and pass them along to consumers. We need to see this in the commercial sector as well. It's a step, and I think we've heard there are systemic issues, but we see this as an important step.
Good. And yes, ma'am.
So the fact is that the safe harbor protections, the two that have been recommended as part of the proposal, the second step in this is a fixed fee per transaction. And that is incredibly important when we're talking about transparency, because all of a sudden that is taken away, the rebates are taken away, and what happens is that this goes to the patient, not lost in the system.
Good. Well, thank you for pointing that out because, excuse me, I would agree with you. And Dr. Cefalu, you are correct. We need transparency, but that's not the only thing we need. But I would submit to you that is an important part of what we're seeing right now. If you look at the mission of the pharmacy benefit managers, the PBMs, it will tell you their mission is to keep prescription drug prices low. Well, I would ask you, how's that working out? Obviously, it's not working out very well at all. And when you have 3 PBMs that control almost 80% of the market, I don't think we have enough competition in that area. I want transparency. We need transparency. It's the only way we're ever going to see exactly how we can attack this problem that impacts everyone. It is a nonpartisan problem. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I yield back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carter. Gentleman yields back. The